So hi, it's Tony Husbands here again, financial coach with the Debt Free Divas, and we figured out an alternative to our Facebook Live issues that we were having earlier. So we're actually going to get a chance to, without the drawing, talk to Elle Martinez of Couple Money about her new book, Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money. So just to catch you up, I did a drawing. And we have a winner, Katrina. So
congratulations, Katrina.
So if you get this, make sure you DM me with your snail mail so that I can send a copy of Elle's new book, Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money, and I'll have that on its way to you. So while I have Elle here, it's a great book, and it actually brought up some questions, or maybe I thought you would be a good person to talk about this question that's been brought up a couple of times. And it's basically you've come to the understanding that living with debt is probably not the best idea for you and your family. Mm-hmm. But you're married, and every decision that you make really probably should be kind of run through or at least agreed upon by your spouse. You don't make decisions about the family on your own anymore. So my question to you, Elle, is for people who are dealing with a spouse who is either, because we can be either, unwilling or uninterested, at best, or just at worst, totally against the idea of budgeting, paying off debt, living within your means so that you can accomplish some financial goals. What would you say to people who are at this point where they feel, or they're at the understanding where they need to get their finances on track because there are some goals that they want to accomplish for the family, but the spouse is either uninterested in joining or at worst fighting against making any changes? What do you say to that person?
Unfortunately, it's common, but the good news is there are things that you can help to get the communication started and to start building up a plan together. I want to say hi to Aja. I saw she said, hey.
This is our number one fan.
It does happen a lot of times. One spouse gets ahead on certain things. I mean, and that's really a part of life. Marriage is a lot of growth, and you want to grow together, but realistically, certain things you go faster than the other spouse. And I would say there are two sides to look at this. And you're going to know after I say a couple of these things, which one applies to you. The number one thing I notice when spouses aren't on board, like they're dragging their feet, or they are fighting you, is the goal is not presented in a way that speaks to them. Mm-hmm. They feel like this was given to them. Sometimes what happens with a spouse is you get excited and you're like, okay, we can be debt free in 3 years, but you need to do X, Y, and Z. And that immediately, for several reasons, just kind of sends the defensive mode for a spouse, because when they're not into this conversation, this is not really a conversation per se. It's more of an order or a very strong suggestion.
Right.
Depending on how you do your communication, everyone's different. But they don't feel like they were on board for that decision. So they feel to some degree that they're left out of the loop. And two, it isn't a goal that aligns with what they value at this moment. And what I mean by that is, I think with most people, you can say getting out of debt sounds like a great idea, but is getting out of debt to them more important than family time with the kids? Say if you have young kids and you listen to, for example, Dave Ramsey's real popular, and he's like, become a pizza delivery driver, take that second job, to get that extra money. And it makes sense on paper. It completely makes sense. But if your spouse values, you know what? I grew up the situation where I didn't see my family around, my parents, because they were working and the financial situation was stressful. And you have little kids, there's a very strong pull. You know what? I don't want to get on board on this because I'd rather spend the extra time. I'll be in debt an extra year or two, but I have that time with my kids I wouldn't have otherwise. Right. And so I think that's the first component. And the kind of leads to the second one, which is, how do you talk about money? A lot of times with us, we come with a mindset already, but we're not discussing the big picture. We're just looking at the numbers, and there's a temptation to kind of be like, well, you know what? You're eating out way too much.
Right.
And so when you approach it like that, it's bound to get the defenses up, and then you're not really having a conversation. You're having a fight. You're having an argument.
Exactly. So I think that is wonderful advice. Again, just kind of, consider the way you're talking, consider what each other's goals and values and priorities are. And if you want even more information, Elle has that available in her great book.
Oh, thank you.
Your Marriage and Your Money. So that might be another way, another place to start if you're really struggling with I feel like this will be good for our family, but my spouse either doesn't see it or is just anti, which, I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. Try bringing some resources into the situation that will help you and your spouse get on the same page, because at the end of the day, this is a team effort. Yes. So thank you, Elle, for chiming in, for hanging out with me until we figure this thing out.
Technology.
But it was definitely well worth it. Again, because our goal here with Debt Free Divas and also Elle Martinez with Couple Money is about helping people accomplish those financial goals, because if you don't give up, you will definitely get there. So we're trying something new. I'm still that same gal that loves to talk about all things as it relates to your money. So any more questions, you guys, chime in, get those to us, and maybe we'll have some more of these conversations where we're addressing conversations or questions, I should say, that directly relate to the issues that you're having. Till then, everybody have a great money week. I'll be
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.